Are you thinking of taking your furry friend on a road trip? Well, get ready for an adventure full of joy and challenges. In this video, we'll explore the exciting world of van life with pets. We all love our four-legged furry friends, but transitioning to a full-time van lifestyle can be a bit tricky for them. Trust me, I speak from experience, and Henry has been on countless trips with me, but when it comes to living in a van permanently, it took him some time to adjust. Just like us, they love their freedom. However, you have to take certain considerations and precautions when living in a van with a pet. Dog tags and microchips. These need to be up to date. When was the last time you even looked at your dog's tag? Or maybe he doesn't even have one. When you travel, it is important to have a dog tag with your current phone number. Is your dog microchipped? Make sure that the contact information associated with the microchip is current. In addition to a microchip, you may want to have a GPS device like an Apple AirTag to put on their collar. Vet considerations. You'll want to make sure that your pet has had a vet appointment before you leave and that they are up to date on all of their shots and vaccinations. This is especially important if you're traveling to different states. There may be different regulations, and you might even want to check into joining a national pet healthcare chain. Search vet companies with nationwide locations. Remember, your pets will be exposed to more things and a larger range of environments as you travel. Make sure they're current on their heartworm and flea and tick medication. Have copies of your dog's vaccination records and pack a first aid kit for them. If your dog either gets sick or needs to be boarded for a time, you'll want to have a copy of vaccination records. Usually a copy on your phone will suffice, but not always, so be sure that you have a physical copy as well. You can always keep a digital copy and print it at Staples if you need it. You might be surprised to find out that some campgrounds even require vaccination records for you to bring your dog in. I also recommend traveling with a dog first aid kit, which includes all kinds of dressings and bandages, especially for dogs, and tools like tweezers to remove ticks or splinters, or to remove those little thorns or stickers that get caught in our dog's paws and on their body. Get your pet used to the van and give them their own dedicated space. Our pets are part of our family and may also be affected by the changes going on all around them. When moving out of a familiar, comfortable home with room to run all over with their favorite smells and spots, it can take some time to adjust to a new environment. Consider what space you will allocate to your pet in the van and perhaps modify the space to suit their needs. Get a dog bed. You want your dog to be comfortable on those long drives. Make sure your dog is comfortable in small spaces. If your dog isn't used to being in a small space, start by slowly acclimating them. Spend short periods of time in the van until they get used to it before fully moving in and before heading off. Train your dog. A well-trained dog is going to be easier on the road than a dog that is constantly misbehaving. Maybe you need to socialize them or take a basic dog training class before you head out. Always give your dog access to water. Your dog shouldn't have to wait until you stop to get gas to get a drink of water. Get a small, stable water bowl so that they can have that available to them whenever they want. Take driving breaks on long days. If you have to pee, your dog does too. Even if you're in a hurry to get to your destination, you need to take a few extra minutes whenever you stop to let your dog out to do their business. Just like humans need to get out and stretch their legs on long drives, so do dogs. Do a couple of quick laps around the parking lot with your dog and make sure that they're just not sitting in the car for hours. Love's truck stops usually have dog parks now, which becomes quite handy. Get equipment and toys that will last. If your dog is into fetch, a quick way to get a lot of exercise is with a chuck-it ball thrower. You'll throw the ball much further than you can with your arm, meaning that your dogs will run a lot further in a shorter amount of time. Plus, with the Chuck It, you won't have to touch the slobbery ball, which is kind of nice. Make sure you are okay with getting toys lost along the way. And invest in some good quality gear like a good leash, a good harness, and tie-out stakes to keep your dog safe. Nighttime safety is also important, and you want to know that that rustling in the bushes behind you is just an exploring dog and not a bear. So an LED dog collar for your pet is easier to find them at night. Find the local dog park. When you arrive in a new town, it's the first thing I do is I check out where the dog parks are. They will be bursting with energy, and it's a good way to socialize them as well. If you're not sure where to go, bring Fido, website that I like to use. Regularly exercising your dog will help them burn some of that extra energy and make them less likely to go stir crazy. Know your van is going to get dirty. Dogs are messy little creatures. Some shed and some slobber, and all of them get dirty. There's no way around it, and the best way is to deal with it is just to accept it. Don't get mad at them for being dirty. I keep a small towel right next to the door because when it's raining or muddy, I always wipe off his feet before I put him in the van. And if you're worried about your car, cover the and get a portable vacuum that help you clean up the mess along the way. Quick dry towels are also convenient for drying dogs off when they get. Most Tractor Supply stores have pet wash stations, so you can wash and dry your pet for $10. They have the commercial blow dryers. They even provide the towels, so you don't have to worry about cleaning up the mess. Know the regulations regarding pets in your destination. Don't show up assuming that they're dog friendly. Most national parks, for example, have strict regulations about dogs. Pets aren't allowed on most of the trails and must be kept on short leashes in campgrounds. Do your research ahead of time. Be smart about leaving your dog in the van. Whether or not it's okay to leave your pet in the van is dependent upon the temperature and safety, and also the local laws that may prohibit you from leaving an animal in a car. I rarely leave Henry unattended for very long, and it may be worth looking into a remote temperature monitor if you do. It's a thermostat that sits inside your car and measures the heat and humidity. You can check the results on your phone and set up alerts if it rises to a certain level. As for temperature, if it's too hot in the van for you to be comfortable, it's also too hot for them. So use your common sense. With that said, be very careful when leaving your dog in the van and always evaluate. If you do leave them, I have a note that I put on the front dash, then it leaves my phone number so that somebody could call. Park where you can see your van from inside and crack a window, and you might even consider a small portable battery operated fan in your van to keep them cool. Reflective windshield covers are also helpful to keep the temperature down inside your vehicle. If you're in a situation where you need to leave your dog often, the most important dog-friendly feature you can do is put a vent fan in the top of your van. Pick up after your dog. Don't be one of those jerks who doesn't pick up after their dog. Not only is it gross to look at, or even worse, step in, but dog poop pollutes waterways. I keep a big supply of poop bags in the car, so I'm always prepared. Be aware of wildlife. Some campgrounds have bears and elk or other wildlife that stroll through the camp, and the last thing you want is your dog loose and barking at a bear. The point is you should know about the local wildlife and make smart choices so your dog doesn't end up as a bear's next meal. Find dog-friendly places and activities. Van life with a dog requires that you consider your dog as you plan your itinerary and day-to-day activities. As pet owners, we learn to prioritize places where our animals are welcome. After a while, you'll learn to plan your van life travels around your ability to do stuff with your pet. Maybe this means avoiding really hot places in the peak of summer, or choosing to bypass a national park, or hiking on other types of public land that allows your dogs to be on the. Before you head out to find some epic spot you heard about, check dog regulations first. This also goes for visiting national parks, some of which are on the dog-friendlier side. A little upfront research can save you a headache later on. If you're looking for a place to grab a bite to eat, check if they have a dog-friendly patio first. And if not, grab takeout and find an awesome place to set up a picnic and both you and your dog can enjoy it. I use Bring Fido. That app tells me about dog-friendly restaurants and dog-friendly activities. There's also a website called petfriendlyrestaurants.com and petfriendlytravel.com. So check those out. Don't risk running out of food, and make sure your brand is available everywhere. It's hard on our dogs' tummies to switch up their food all the time, so you want to make sure that what you feed your dog is readily available in major stores, pet stores, so you can easily find it and keep them on a regular eating schedule. Van life can be hard on a dog's eating schedule. Some dogs don't like to eat while the van is moving, so it's important to give them time to eat in the morning before you start driving. Every dog is a little different, but pay attention to their eating habits and try to stick to a routine. Also, make sure you're leaving that water bowl out 24/7. If your pet needs medicine or special brands of food or treats, stock up before you leave, especially if it's not easy to find things while you're traveling. Use doggy daycare when you need to. If there is somewhere that isn't pet friendly that you really don't want to pack, no matter where you are, doggy daycare is almost always an option. There is Rover, which you might be able to find a dog sitter for a day or even an extended amount of time. I like using Rover. It's like an Airbnb for dogs, and you can find people nearby who will board your dog either for a few hours or for several days. And you can see the reviews of who you would be entrusting your dog to and what other people have said. Because you're dealing with individuals, the locations and hours are usually much more flexible. I've had really good luck with Rover. And there are a number of PetSmart stores that have doggy day camps from open to close, so that's another thing to check into. Be prepared for bad weather. If you're traveling in an area with lots of rain, snow, or extreme temperatures, make sure that you have a plan for how you will keep your dog comfortable in those conditions. They don't want to be cooped up in the van either. If you have a plan to keep them occupied, that will take you a long ways. Rain in your van can be very scary. If it gets to be really bad, I will go to a parking garage where you're not hearing the rain right on. So there you have it. I hope you found this video helpful, and remember, with a little preparation and some extra love, you can be exploring the world with your furry friend. So pack your bags, grab your best friend, and start creating unforgettable adventures. Until next time, stay wild and stay free. Henry, right, Henry? Right?